work life.
Hello, Gilly Nontopa. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV. Bringing you face-to-face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Wherever the geographical location may be. My name is K. Lyndon Trooper, and it's such a privilege to be seated in the capacity as the lead host to bring you information pertaining to the program Inside the Print Media. As I said again, my name is K. Lyndon Trooper. I'm very sorry that Grafina is unable to be on the show, but she has authorized me to continue the program in her absence. So let's go. We have a lot of newspaper in our hand this morning. We have the Front Page Africa newspaper. We have the Daily Observer newspaper. We have the Hot Pepper newspaper. And lastly, we have the New Dawn newspaper. Those are trending stories about Liberia. We are very sorry. We want to tell you that we will not be acquainting you with the international news story because of the content of our news presentations on today. So for those of you who are watching, just insert a comment in the comment section and we'll definitely recognize you. So let's go over to the Daily Observer newspaper. Rubber stakeholder divided over WIA Executive Order 124. Rubber stakeholders divided over WIA's Executive Order 124. I will read you that particular content. A group of Liberians known as Consortiums of Rubber Sector Actors of Liberia, COSAI, has called on the incoming members of the 55th National Legislature to revoke President George Weah's Executive Order number 124, which bans the exportations of unprocessed rubber from Liberia. James W. Sikwe, chairman of COSA, said that the group believes that in the free market system and holds there is valuable principle of competition which promotes and sustains free trade. President George Manuel Weah last month issued Executive Order 124 banning the exportation of unprocessed rubber. In the wisdom of the president, the sector has been greatly affected by abuse, misuse, and theft over the period. Therefore, to curb the situation, he believes that further strategy is necessary so that the proper policies can be developed and appropriate institutional and regulatory framework can be established to curb the retrogression, sustain the development of the industry, and stimulate growth. From the date of the executive order, there shall be no exportation of unprocessed natural rubber from Liberia until otherwise advised. The executive order declared unprocessed natural rubber shall be defined as the raw material tapped from rubber trees, not having gone through any processing to change its physical or chemical composition, or natural lattice, congula, cup lump, tree lace, bark strap, ground, ground strap, and other forms of unprocessed or processed natural rubber, including concentrated latex and dry rubber produced or derived from a latex produced by a rubber tree. The order said that the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the Ministry of Finance, and other government agencies shall not issue or authorize the issuance of any export permit to unprocessed natural rubber from Liberia. That within 30 days of the issuance of the executive order, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture, shall make a special effort to provide access to the domestic market for Liberian rubber farmers in remote areas who rely primarily on cross-border trade in unprocessed natural rubber every. It further mentioned that all customs officers and law enforcement authorities at the point of entry to exit in from the Republic of Liberia, whether by land, sea, or air, shall stop and prohibit the exportation of all consignments of unprocessed natural rubber from the Republic of Liberia. However, COSA strongly opposes to the executive order, describing it as heartless and seeking to suppress the already struggling masses. The group called on all Liberians to join them in opposing the executive order. Its chairman Siaka said at yesterday's press conference that rubber sector must be left alone to operate on the basis of willing seller and willing buyer. This will greatly help to improve the lives of the rubber sector, our families in the particular, and Liberians in general. True to the effect, the growth, developments, and sustainability of powerful economic nations in today's world rest solely on free trade. Siaka also noted that the executive order negatively impacts the government revenue collection as well as the livelihood of truckers, farmers, shipping lines, and other actors in the rubber industry. According to him, for example, truckers who transport rubber between and among actors in the rubber sector buy huge quantity of fuel daily in order to facilitate the movement of their trucks. Enumerating the losses that the country might be incurring as a result of the ban, Saka said the more truckers move from the unprocessed rubber and consume fuel, the more they contribute to the road fund and also increase sales at filling stations. But this is no longer happening. APM Terminal, along with the National Port Authority, charges $250 per a 40-foot container as handling charges on export, including storage. He noted the volume of export has dropped drastically because of this ban. So it is clear that their revenue base has also been greatly affected. He added that the shipping lines are also affected because of the local charges and the overseas freight from the export of unprocessed rubber, which contribute immensely to the country export revenue. We know that these have been undermined by the ban. The shipping lines have invested so many resources in packaging material and brought in country professionals for the safety of the trade. And all investment are exposed to high rate. COSA argues that the government role is to provide better living conditions for its citizens, including those in the rubber sector. And with this ban, the government is rather doing the contrary. The group also questioned the constitutional basis of the executive order, stating that it misapplied Article 5, Section C of the 1986 Constitution. Siaka and his team argued that the rubber industry was developed by farmers without government assistance and that they should have access to a market of their choice. Unprocessed rubber exporter Derek Newman noted that the executive order has not only affected actors in the rubber sector, but also the national economy, creating a monopoly for a few buying companies and limiting market access for farmers. However, Julius Seeley, another major actor in the sector, has since voiced his support for the ban. Seeley, who is the executive director of the Rubber Development Fund, RDF, lauded the ban as a welcome initiative. Unlike the coastside people, Seeley said that the move will stimulate economic growth in the sector, thereby improving the livelihood of small-scale farmers and contributing immensely to the government's revenue. According to him, there is always going to reduce criminality in the rubber sector and create competition among concessions that are venturing into or doing the processing. We can't continue to have people exporting rubber. It is depriving the government of the needed revenues and the income generation for local processors, he said. Seeley explained that the moratorium on the exportation of rubber will create competition in the rubber sector. Nevertheless, the RPI executive director revealed that the stakeholder has since called on the government to renew the executive order, but the government has delayed reinstating it. In 2008, the government to remediate the decline in the rubber sector due to the theft issued Executive Order 16. But since that time, the situation facing the rubber sector has continued and the government has failed to take action. With this being said, this is how we transition over to another headline on the Daily Observer newspaper. Liberia, car warehouse fire disaster leaves 2 dead. I will read that again. Car warehouse house fire disaster leaves 2 dead. Family and home burned to ashes. A heartbreaking incident occurred in Kawe Benson Street as a fire engulfed the home of a family late Wednesday evening, resulting into a tragic loss of 2 innocent children. The devastating event brought the entire township to a standstill, with residents mourning the loss of their lives and destructions of property. Despite the efforts of community dwellers to extinguish the fire before the arrival of the Liberia National Fire Service, the flame grew rapidly and made rescue attempt impossible. The fire occurred in the evening and struck the community while the home was burning. One of the older girls said she managed to bring the 2 children outside the fence. However, after the fire was partially controlled, the parents began searching for their kids but could not find them. Eventually, the children were discovered dead in the destroyed house. It was revealed that the parents had left their home for an evening church service and were informed of the tragedy by neighbors. The cause of the fire is yet to be established, but according to a girl who lived in the house, she noticed smoke coming from a small living room and immediately alerted others before rushing outside. However, the girl is devastated and blames herself for the death of the children. The family home was reduced to ashes. Moses, the father of one of the deceased kids, was overwhelmed with grief as it was initially reported that the children were safe at a neighbor's home. Neighbor could not hold back their tears as the distraught family wailed in agony for their lost children. This is too much and difficult to take, a neighbor said. The kids were playing around here just a few minutes ago, and in the twinkle of an eye, we are hearing that they are dead. So with this being said, this is how we transition over to the New Dawn newspaper. And the headlines from the New Dawn newspaper is quite very interesting. Senator Che Nukwe's U.S. sanction claim is false and misleading, and the investigation fund has discovered. I will read that again. Senator Che Nukwe U.S. sanction claims is false and misleading, and the investigation funds has discovered. A New Dawn investigation has discovered that the assertion made by Senator Augustine Che of Sino County, indicating that the United States government visa restriction imposed on Margibi County Senator J. Emmanuel Nukwe was because he provided land for Jetty Rubber Factory is misleading. Senator Che who claimed to have written article urging the U.S. sanction imposed on officials of the outgoing Weah government regime and some members of the 54 legislature told OKFM on Tuesday, January 9, 2024, that the American issued visa restriction against Senator Nukwe because he was actively involved in helping Indian businessman Oyiba Shadiva, popularly known as Jetty, to set up his rubber factory by providing the land and building for the factory. Nukwe and others had to work with Jetty to establish the factory, and because Nukwe provided the land, he provided the building, and he is working with Jetty to make sure that the project comes to realization. Senator Che explained while suggesting that this was the reason behind Nukwe's being sanctioned by the U.S. government. However, the New Dam investigation has established that over 138 acres parcel of land on which the Jetty robot is located was originally owned by Lord Wisnet, who sold it to Maryland Tita Logan in 2020. The lease agreement, a copy of which is in possession of this paper, can also be found in the appendix within the investment incentive agreement signed between the Liberian government and the Jetty Robot LCC and ratified by Senator Che and his colleagues, shows that Mr. Shadiva leased the land from Mr. Logan. The paper also found a session made by Senator Che insinuating that Senator Nukwe and others who have alleged helped Mr. Shadiva to set up the rubber factory may be part owner of the Jetty Rubber Factory as force. According to the appendix of the Jetty Robot Factory Investment Incentive Agreement on Corporate Structure, which was approved on December 27, 2021 and published on January 10, 2022, the Jetty Rubber Factory is fully owned 100% by Yivat Shadiva. On the other electric allegation made by Senator Che, indicating that the establishment of the Jetty Rubber Factory is against Firestone interests, and therefore the Americans saw that as undermining Firestone investment interests. The paper also found that to be false and misleading. Sources at the Firestone rubber plantation told this paper on Wednesday that Mr. Shadiva and Firestone management enjoys a cordial relationship. One source told this paper that a few months ago, Mr. Shadiva visited the current management of Firestone, something which our source said was reciprocated by a visit to the Jetty Rubber Factory by some officials from the Firestone rubber plantation, signifying the harmonious relationship between the two companies. With this being said, this is how we transition over again to another headlines. World Bank allocates $450,000 to gas tanker victims, expresses condolence and support as Liberia moons. I will read that headline again. World Bank allots $450 million to gas tanker victims, expresses condolences and support as Liberia moon. The World Bank has allocated $450,000 in response to the Liberian government emergency plan to address the plight of Liberians affected by the recent gasoline tanker explosions in the rural Liberian town of Tototabong County. This amount will help to address constraint and technical financial capacity to treat, trauma, and respond to other emergencies and will facilitate the deployment of specialized medical teams from Sierra Leone to boost the emergency response. The World Bank is saddened by the devastating injuries and loss of life resulting from the recent gasoline tanker explosion in Liberia. We extend our deepest condolences to the families and the friends of those lost and are hoping for the full recovery of those injured. We are eager to support the health authority working around the clock to respond to this emergency guided by the long-term goal to strengthen the national health system in a sustainable manner, said Robert Salasirio O'Brien, World Bank Country Director to Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Funding was made available through the existing institutional foundation to improve services for health. Project aimed at improving health service delivery to women, children, and adults in Liberia. The World Bank support will help ensure uninterrupted provisions of medical oxygen for patients in extensive care and delivery of medical supply needed for the emergency phase, among other urgent needs. Also, the fund will help provide specialized nutritional support for patients with severe burn, high-level trauma, and ICU stay, social and psychosocial support for dependent, mainly children, disabled, and women of affected disease in the accident and other treatment for victims of the explosion. Since the explosion of the gasoline tanker on December 26, 2023, an estimated 70 persons have been confirmed dead, 37 of whom from medical facilities in Montserrat and Maggie counties. Currently, there are 101 persons with severe burn admitted at the following hospitals in Montserrat, Maggie, and Bone County: John F. Kennedy, 14 Military Hospital, St. Cathleen, and Phoebe. So far, 6 persons have been discharged from the Phoebe Hospital in Bone County. So we go over to front page Africa newspaper. VP Joel Howard Taylor reportedly turned over empty cover to VP-elect Jeremiah Kun. I will read that again. That sounds very interesting. VP Joel Howard Taylor reportedly turns over empty cover to VP-elect Jeremiah Kun. In keeping with the legislature revised rules that calls for 3 executive break, Tuesday, January 10, 2024, marked the end of the 54th legislature. On this occasion, the president of the Senate, who also served as the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Joel Howard Taylor, officially handed over the responsibility to her successor, Jeremiah Kun. It is reported that unlike her predecessor, Joseph Newman Boakai, who handed over almost $500,000 United States dollar, gas coupons, and vehicle, unconfirmed reports suggest that the outgoing vice president is leaving an empty cover for her successor, Jeremiah Kun. However, in contrast to Boakai, who was still implementing the budget passed in June of 2018 within a biannual fiscal year, VP Taylor is leaving an empty cover as she has concluded her fiscal year, which runs yearly. Meanwhile, the Senate Pro Tempore Abachi has announced the closure of the 54th legislature, otherwise referred to as adjournment sign deed. The adjournment of the 54th legislature follows the end of the special session of the last segment of the 54th legislative term. On this occasion, the leadership of the Liberian Senate expressed thanks and appreciation to their colleagues for the cooperation received during the session and over the years. Pro Tempore Chair maintained that despite the challenges faced during the Senate leadership journey, the Senate took a sense of responsibility to ensure that it remains what he calls a crucible of democracies in the country. This role is vital in providing political stability and serving as a reservoir for national leadership for the executive and judicial branches of the government. According to the Senate Pro Tempore, over the 6 years of the 54th legislature, the Liberian Senate played a crucial role in creating an environment for economic growth, exerting oversight over the executive and judiciary branches of government, implementing a legislative reform, representing the country beyond the distinction, and executing numerous projects nationwide. Meanwhile, Pro Tempore Chair has expressed gratitude to his colleague who will be returning for the 55th legislature for their public service. He praised that another avenue will be available to them to contribute, nothing that they will have the end day. This is how we move over to another headline on the front page Africa newspaper. NEMOT admonishes incoming 55th legislature to adopt more robust approach. I will go that again. NEMOT admonishes incoming 55th legislature to adopt more robust approach. NEMO Partner for Democratic Initiative has called on the incoming 55th legislature to champion principles of accountability, transparency, and responsiveness in serving the needs and expectations of the Liberian people, recognizing the pivotal role of robust legislative oversight in a thriving democracy. NEMO calls on the legislature to enhance their oversight function. This, NEMO says, entails holding the executive branch accountable, diligently monitoring executive function, maintaining a balance of power, and steadfastly defending the interests of the people. The core legislative function of lawmaking, representation, and oversight must consistently uphold the principle of social accountability and efficient delivery of public goods and services. According to NEMO, after closely monitoring the performance of 54th legislature from January 2018 to 2023, it observed a deficiency in the oversight function, resulting in the lack of transparency and openness in executive activities. Furthermore, the legislature failed to hold the executive branch accountable for many of its actions and inaction, it said. In addition, NEMO observation during the period revealed that the absence of budget performance report, non-submissions of report from ministries, agencies, and commission to the legislature, no access to voting records of legislators, the absence of a non-functional website for public engagement, and the non-availability of annual reports. Notably, during the 2018-2022 period, the legislature received appropriation exceeding $228 million without accompanying audit report on fund management. In light of this observation, NEMO calls upon the 55th legislature to adopt a robust approach. This includes implementing institutional reform to fortify oversight committee, establishing transparent system, launching a functional website for public access to legislative activity, and introducing a state-of-the-art electronic voting system to provide transparent voting records, the organization said in a statement. This initiative aimed to make the 55th legislature more citizen-centric, accessible, responsible, and accountable, thereby fostering a democracy that effectively serves the people. NEMO, established in the early 2000s, has since been a leading grassroots organization promoting democracy, governance, community organizing, and civic engagement among Liberians. In the statement, NEMO committed to contributing to legislative and strengthening by creating a legislative engagement guide that will enhance the involvement of civil society organizations and citizens in the legislative process. Additionally, NEMO pledges to host town hall meetings, which are expected to bring legislators closer to the people, support youth legislative dialogue to provide training for legislative staff, monitor legislative engagement, and improve media engagement with legislators. NEMO affirmed its commitment to vigilant monitoring of policy responses, coupled with ongoing assessment of political accountability. This commitment, the organization noted, will result in the development and publications of policy brief and periodic report, potentially on a quarterly and yearly basis. These publications will meticulously detail the performance of elected officials, contributing to enhance transparency and accountability in the government for the benefit of the broader population, it added. With this, before we transition over, we will take a short break, and after we come back, we fill you in with headlines and details regarding the Hot Pepper newspaper. Stick still with us. Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Perfina Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
To the Hot Pepper newspaper, Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer commends mercyship for impacting nurses. Let's go over it again. Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer commends mercyship for impacting nurses. Mercyship, an international medical group working around the globe in strengthening the workings of medical practitioners in the world, has in recent time benefited Liberia with the support provided by Mercyship International. In 2021-2023, Mercyship conducted training and strategic donations to a number of medical hospitals in the country. They donated 24 medical Grosani Cancer system, which conduct surgical operations for patients suffering with neurons and other related diseases. The International Medical Organization also provided 2 training courses for Liberian biomedical technicians in monitoring the Health Technology Management Unit of the Ministry of Health. In furtherance, Mercyship provided the support to biomedical technicians on the use of various medical equipment at hospitals in Liberia. The International Medical Base Group, during their stay in Liberia, provided leadership, development training, and mentoring for Full Hospital, Jackson F. Doe, J.J. Dawson Redemptions, and Emery Hospital. At the same time, the training at these hospitals focused on safe surgery, neonatal resuscitation, primary trauma care, nurses, nutritional agriculture, and health. According to information gathered, hundreds of Liberian nurses benefited from the training courses. In 2023, 3,000 nurses and midwives in the country received kits to assist them in the care of their patients at a number of health facilities. Mercyship also donated 40-foot container of PPE, which is personal protective equipment, portable oxygen concentrator during COVID, during Blue Stroke, 40 nursing drug handbags, face masks, exam beds, audio-visual, among others items to nurses and midwifery in Liberia. Speaking with the chief nursing and midwifery at the Ministry of Health, Diana Siata, she expressed her unit gladness for the job well done by the Mercyship International. She said that many trainings and donations provided by Mercyship International have reduced some of the challenges faced at severe hospitals in Liberia. According to Hall, nurses and midwives challenges have included equipment to work with. Liberia Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer also informed this platform that the rate of maternal mortality have increased to 74%, 74% thousand live birth in the country. We transition. This is how we transition to the last headlines on the Hot Pepper newspaper. A good leadership requires peace, says Reverend Juby. The Dawson administrations of the Archdiocese of Monrovia, Reverend Dr. Monsignor Gabriel Blamo Juby, has revealed that today, in praying for peace, let's remember also to pray for Liberia, that our leaders and politicians may understand a good leadership is at the service of peace, the respect for the rule of law, for the common good of the ordinary citizen. The Dawson administration of the Archdiocese of Monrovia also lauded the people of Liberia for the peaceful conduct of the general and presidential election last year, which witnessed the ushering in of a new government that is expected to be headed by President-elect Ambassador Joseph Newman Waka. He thanked the outgoing President George Manuel Weah for graciously conceding defeat to his major political rival during the presidential runoff election before the count of the last ballot by the National Elections Commission. As we enter the new year 2024, let us together thank God for his enduring presence upon us as a church and remain very grateful for the blessings of peace bestowed upon us as a nation following tightly contested runoff election on November 14, 2023. The Dawson administration of the Archdiocese of Monrovia, Reverend Dr. Monsignor Gabriel Blamo Juby quoted it as saying, according to him, the diverse challenges of 2023 may have been dampen our hope and crush our spirit in different ways. Our determinations and resilience have enabled us to continue to endure with the doors of the new year open before us, the endless possibility. Let us then embrace new opportunity in the new year and as a church bounded by faith and baptism, work together to achieve our goals in a Sandora spirit of working together and listening to the Holy Spirit. Reverend Dr. Gabriel used the opportunity to extend greetings on behalf of the members of the college, consultants, and his own name. He acknowledged and appreciated the different ways they have worked to achieve the mission as a church over the past year. We have been overwhelmed by the selfless services and the pastoral solicitude of the religious and clergymen, docents, and missionary alike, the catechists, pastoral workers, and individuals working in the different departments at the Archdiocese Secretariat and institution. He thanked the Catholic Church, particularly for what he described as the unwavering support and sustaining contribution of lay faithful in different parishes and missionaries. The Dawson administrations and the members of the College of Consultors of Archdiocese of Monrovia extended heartfelt New Year greetings and best wishes to the clergy, religious men and women, deacons, seminaries, catechists, personal workers, department heads of the Archdiocese Catholic Secretariat and Education Institution, heads of the Lady Organization, and the Lady of Faithful of the Archdiocese of Monrovia. In related development, in his 2024 World Day Peace message under the theme Artificial Intelligence and Peace, Pope Francis has urged all people to reflect on the important work of building peace. According to him, they are not unaware of the ongoing conflicts around the world, causing so much suffering and death. With this being said, this is how we will close in on all of our major news presentation for today. Thanks to all of you who have been there watching. Mahmoud Samson has been there watching along with us. And thanks to all of you who have been there watching along with us but didn't comment. This is how we would love to end this edition of day. My name is K. Lyndon Topai, and I have been authorized by the lead presenter on the show, Grafina, to present on today. So many thanks to all of you, and continue to follow Focal Online TV. Better still, you can strike a business deal with Focal Online TV. Our doors are open for businesses. Thanks to all of you.